It felt like an unsafe work environment.
Multiple people heard Nicki say, if I had a gun, I would shoot bitch.
Ooh. Anytime anybody's reeling threats at somebody, you know, that's just, it's not appropriate. But honestly, I thought it was going to be a 3-person panel.
Again, back to the Billboard Hot 100 #1 song, which you just performed, which is difficult to get. Not everybody has that.
It was disappointing when they would, for political reasons, not put people through.
I just bust out crying because I was like, this is like my idol right now, telling me that I'm arrogant and I'm out here with a baby and just overcame homelessness.
Trying to help her as opposed to just talk about her outfit.
I'm going to continue to speak.
Of course, you always do.
Mariah Carey opening up about her time as an American Idol judge, saying she's more than happy to be done with the show after a very rocky season.
The one you think was the problem, she wasn't the problem.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving into the darkest season of American Idol in history. From bullying contestants to threats being hurled behind the scenes, this season is unlike any other. In 2012, American Idol was on a steady decline in ratings and struggled to find acts that could match the success of their previous winners. In an attempt at revamping the show, they would reach out to Mariah Carey and offer her a job as a judge. Many people saw this as a dig since she was replacing her rival Jennifer Lopez on the panel, but Mariah was actually in talks to be a judge on the show's first season. This wouldn't be Mariah's first time on the show either. In 2008, she appeared as a mentor for 2 episodes, where she helped the contestants get ready to perform covers of her songs. Both episodes would go on to give the show its highest ratings of the season, which is why it was no surprise that she'd be offered a full-time position. With Mariah scoring more #1 singles than any solo artist in history, she was the perfect choice as a judge and signed on for a reported $18 million, making her the highest-paid person on reality TV up to that point.
It's official, Mariah Carey signs on to Idol. Hello everyone, and thanks for sticking with me here on Clever News. American Idol fans, it is indeed official. Mariah Carey will be sitting at the judges' table next season on the show. Of course, this news comes just after Jennifer Lopez announced her departure. Fox Entertainment president Kevin Riley made the announcement in Beverly Hills this morning, saying, quote, "It's the biggest recording artist than any of these singing competition shows have ever had. It's an artist many of these contestants have tried to emulate." Now, Steven Tyler recently announced his departure, but while nothing is official, Randy Jackson is expected to stay on board. As for who could be taking the 3rd spot, the biggest names being tossed around right now are Adam Lambert and Charlie Sheen.
Now that Mariah was joining Randy Jackson on the panel, the show was looking to fulfill its 3rd spot, as rocker Steven Tyler was set to be replaced. Mariah would be seen campaigning for Lenny Kravitz to take the position as they just filmed a movie together, but the show ultimately ended up going with Keith Urban instead, as country music was beginning to rise on the charts. With the show not having a panel of 4 in years, Mariah was under the impression that it'd just be her, Keith, and Randy, as they had already begun to shoot promotional material. But just 2 hours before auditions were set to begin, it was announced that rapper Nicki Minaj would be joining them.
Nicki Minaj joins new judge Mariah Carey, old-timer Randy Jackson, and newcomer country singer Keith Urban. The panel has expanded from 3 last year to 4 this year. Previous contenders for the gig since Jennifer Lopez and Steven Tyler announced their departure from the show included Nick Jonas, Pharrell Williams, and Enrique Iglesias. The big announcement was made just hours before the first round of auditions for season 12 in New York was about to begin. Talk about waiting until the last second, Idol. Now, what are these stars going to be earning for their year on the show? Mariah Carey will be earning between $17 to $18 million, as previously reported, while new judge Nicki Minaj is earning somewhere from $10 to $12 million. Country singer Keith will earn much less at $3 to $5 million for the season. The first day of auditions has arrived for the judges, and here are your first look photos from the set. Keith said on his first day he plans to be authentic but not cruel. Nicki said she will be looking for a superstar, which is something that can't be defined by words. Mariah Carey, when asked whether or not she had eagerly eagerly awaited the news of who the other judges would be, she joked no, because all I really care about is me. She added, only kidding. Well, if this is any indication of what we are in store for this season, we can't wait.
With Nicki now joining the panel, Mariah was said to be very upset and felt like a rapper had no business judging a singing competition. But this wouldn't be their first time working together. In 2010, the two collaborated on a remix to Mariah's single Up Out My Face. During the shoot for the music video, journalist B. Scott, who was on set, reported that Nicki made several rude comments towards Mariah, who went out of her way to accommodate Nicki and her entourage. The song would achieve moderate success, giving Nicki her first ever Billboard entry as well as being the most viewed video the day it was released. But when B. Scott told Mariah what was done, she allegedly pulled all promotion and opted out of future performances. Mariah did very little to mask her disdain for Nicki, as she was seen throwing light jabs on the very first episode, resulting in Nicki doing the same.
I was distracted by the tension between Mariah Carey and Nicki Minaj. It began immediately. Take a look.
Nicki's got a drum major hat here. Nicki and Mariah, you guys are from New York?
Dog. Like, we can have accessories. I didn't know that was allowed. But that's the last thing I'm gonna say. That's the last thing I'm gonna say.
We were gonna play nice.
We're supposed to go, darling.
Oh, we're gonna jump in.
I didn't know. Was this? Are you okay?
Yeah,
thank you, darling. Thank you. I've been appointed. Okay.
Oh, been
it's
appointed?
like a knighting. It's something that happens. Okay.
Mariah, is this beauty lighting?
Do I consider it beauty lighting?
I need you to make sure the lighting is completely beauty.
I did that for you and Up Out My Face. Oh, how does it happen? How does it even? It's amazing. If she called me something that begins with a B and ends in an itch, I rebuke it.
Okay.
Producers took note of this, airing commercials that pitted the two against each other. It would remain this way for the next few weeks until things took a serious turn during auditions in Charlotte, North Carolina. During the auditions, contestant Summer stated that she did the country thing for a while, which made Judge Keith take offense.
What do you see yourself as a singer?
I don't know. I did the country thing. I'm more of a soulful country, maybe.
Right.
Is kind of what I have been doing.
Right. I always get thrown when people say I did the country thing. I'm like, well it's like saying I did the brain surgeon thing.
Yeah.
It's like either you're a brain surgeon or you're not.
Thing.
I just been trying to put a little more soul behind it, I guess is the best way to put it.
Right, okay.
Mariah and Randy took note and tried to correct the situation by asking more questions, hoping she'd clarify what she meant. Nicki, who felt like the other judges were picking at the contestant, began to stick up for her by calling them out. What followed was a heated exchange between all four judges, prompting Nicki to walk off set.
Because for a minute I thought it was like a country music debate. Like, I mean,
you were like, where am I in the court of country?
Why are we like picking her apart? Like, because, you know, of a country comment. I mean, you guys make comments about everybody in the pop, you know, in popular music all day nonstop.
Who's you guys?
Not you, Keith. Randy and Mariah. And
really?
Yeah.
Is that what I do?
Yeah, you guys
When
do.
someone says, oh, I thought I did the hip hop
Baby.
thing.
I'm not
We're trying to help her
I did the hip hop
No,
thing.
but I feel like we're kind of like we're going into.
Are you country?
Sorry. Are you country? Do you like country? Do you like country? And I kind of feel like
I'm making comments. I'm trying to help her. We're trying to help her as opposed to just talk about her outfit.
I'm going to continue to speak.
Of course, you
what
always
we're
do.
almost
Go ahead.
actually doing is like scaring her into lying. Like she said what she said. She has every right to say that and feel that. You have a great voice.
She didn't walk in here claiming country.
And I knew that.
She said, oh, I did the country thing. And I'm like, baby, you're a country singer.
To make her claim it. And
I really
but
wasn't.
then we're forcing her to claim something. And I understand.
Trying to help her.
Well, my view is that we're kind of like making them change their minds.
No,
you know,
she can be whoever she
I
wants
think
to
it's
be.
asking who she is.
Watch the tape back and you'll understand.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what
In my
you do?
expertise.
Is that what you do?
In my
Yes.
No,
Really?
that's an absolute
So you watch the
10,000 times
tape back
yes.
every night.
Yes!
Yay, Hollywood!
All right.
I love
Make sure you wear a
this
hat.
moment.
No matter what Nicki thinks, your voice still fits better in country.
It
See you
fits
later in
perfect in
Hollywood.
country. See you there.
Just trying to help you a little bit.
Country.
30 years, a little help. Yeah. Insight.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I can't help her. Maybe I should just get off the piano.
Every word she said was a yodel. What do you think that fits in? That
Let me
voice?
get off the piano.
Nikki's mad. She's walking out.
That was my move. I was gonna do that the next time she
I was
ragged
gonna
on
walk
me.
out.
Shut up.
What are we doing? Is this
Finish the show. I'm done.
Nicki returns to set soon after, but is called inadequate by Mariah, prompting them to get into a huge fight that was leaked by TMZ. In the video, the two are seen swearing and hurling insults at each other. Following this, it was reported that Nicki threatened Mariah with a gun, resulting in filming being forced to shut down for the rest of the day. Mariah would do an interview with Barbara Walters soon after where she addressed the situation.
Mariah claims that Nicki went too far, making physical threats against her, which I reported on The View. She said that when Nicki walked off the set, multiple people heard Nicki say, "If I had a gun, I would shoot that effing bitch." Ooh. Did you take what she said seriously?
It felt like an unsafe work environment. Anytime anybody's reeling threats at somebody, that's just, it's not appropriate. I mean, I've got 2 babies. I'm not going to take any chances. So yeah, I did hire more security. I just felt it was the appropriate thing to do.
Nicki Minaj has denied saying anything about a gun, calling it a fabrication. And when we asked her for a comment for this story, her representative told us she said what she's saying on this topic.
Okay, I'll take it. Sound on the dotted line.
Perhaps that also includes the lyrics to Nicki's newest single.
These bums so mad that the queen on Idol, huh?
Nicki recently released a song. It's called Hell Yeah. It's about American Idol. And she says, "I'm quick to check a bitch if she is out of line." Are you the bitch she's singing about?
Don't know. Don't know what she's singing. I didn't know she sang. I thought she rapped or whatever.
Do you think this fight is detracting from American Idol?
I think it's a classic, classy show, and it didn't need this. I really think it was just a crass moment.
Following their argument, the two were put into mediation, where they were scolded by Idol executives and agreed they'd be cordial for the rest of the show's auditions and Hollywood rounds. But once Nicki seen Mariah on Barbara Walters, she took to Twitter to respond. And as the show was getting ready to go into the live shows, fans couldn't wait to see how they'd interact. With Twitter in its prime, Idol would be the highest trending topic weekly, with people caring more about the judges than the contestants. Even President Barack Obama weighed in on the situation.
Just before President Obama debated Mitt Romney tonight, he reignited the debate over the showdown between American Idol judges Mariah Carey and Nicki Minaj. He gave a brand new interview that was just revealed with Michael Yo on Yahoo's The Yo Show, and the president was asked about the recent expletive-filled Nicki Minaj tirade at an Idol audition. And there he is, Michael Yo, joining me tonight from Hollywood. Michael, first, let's listen together to what President Obama just told you after you actually asked him the question.
Can you repair the relationship with Mariah Carey and Nicki Minaj on American Idol? That's what people want to know.
You know what? I think that they are going to be able to sort it out. I am confident. I'm all about bringing people together, working for the same cause. So, I think both outstanding artists are going to be able to make sure that, they're moving forward and not going backwards.
Now, which one is your favorite out of the two, Mariah Carey and Nicki Minaj?
Mariah, she's actually done some events for us. I've gotten to know her and Nick, and she's a wonderful lady. So, Nicki, I don't know, but I've got her on my iPod.
Look at you, man. On the phone with Barack Obama. I just can't believe that.
I know, it's crazy.
And you asked him about Nicki and Mariah right at the top of your interview. So I need to know, were you shocked that he not only responded at such length, but that he actually knew what happened with Nicki and Mariah?
Oh, absolutely. I was shocked when I asked the question, because when I went into the interview, I wanted to make it fun, but also ask some serious questions. So I started with Mariah Carey and Nicki Minaj, and he nailed it. But in his past interviews, when I did some research, he actually likes that show. So I had a feeling if he's watching it, if he reads, he would know about it. But yeah, it shocked me that he knew so in the detail about it.
And as a result of you bringing it up, Candy Crowley, as the moderator of tonight's debate, didn't have to bring it up, and she was able to actually cross that question off of her list for the president and Mitt Romney. But the prez kind of seemed to be, well, being a diplomat, being political, avoiding taking sides in the whole Nicki Mariah showdown. But I got to tell you, I was listening in between the words, and it kind of seemed to me that he was more on Team Mariah. What's your take?
Oh, absolutely. He's met Mariah. He knows Nick. Nicki Minaj, I know, came out and said some negative things about him in the press. So, I think he was being politically correct and saying he had Nicki Minaj in his iPod, but I wasn't going to ask the follow-up, and it popped into my mind, what song do you have in your iPod? But I was thinking, you know what, he probably just said that to be PC, so I didn't want to go push it that far.
That was probably pretty smart. The Secret Service or the IRS might have been knocking on your door, Michael.
Now that American Idol entered its live shows, the two were seen throwing light jabs at each other once again. Until one week, Nicki inserted herself while Mariah was giving a critique, resulting in her making a comment about Nicki's career that sent her into a spiral.
Okay, I heard you were doing this song, and I said, interesting choice, because Rihanna, such a big superstar, obviously, and then such a huge song, major hit, So once you get into those songs that have really become massive #1 records, they're like ear candy, so people feel like they automatically want to hear the arrangement or elements of the original arrangement. But I did expect you to change it. I do feel like you tried to take it into another place. But I also must agree with, there was a bit of a sense, and you did look gorgeous, but that you were playing to the camera more than the usual Angie, lost in the moment of playing. And that's why I cannot wait till we get to do 2014,000 songs. Oh, no. So you must think that I agree with you agree with the entire panel in saying, again, back to the Billboard Hot 100 #1 song, which you just performed, which is difficult to get. Not everybody has that. To their credit, to your credit, you did a great job. So keep on singing, and next time those top notes will be just as clear.
Immediately after the episode aired, Nicki took to Twitter once again, posting multiple tweets attacking Mariah. She then would be partially absent from the following week's episode, resulting in host Ryan Seacrest having to fill in. With a few more episodes left in the season, it was announced that Mariah would be quitting after Idol producers told her that she'd be watching her nemesis Jennifer Lopez perform on stage. She felt like she was being exploited for ratings and didn't want to return for another season. Mariah would give a performance of her greatest hits for the show's finale, and it would be announced that Randy would be retiring after judging since season 1, with Candace Glover being announced as the winner. The 12th installment of American Idol came to a wrap, and several people began voicing their feelings. Winner Candace stated that she hated how Nicki and Mariah's fans would bully her into picking a side. She also said that Nicki's fans sent her mean comments after she chose to cover one of Mariah's songs.
On Twitter this week, there's some stuff. What is kind of like getting under your skin right now? Because on Twitter you felt like you had to like kind of put some stuff out there, and your fans are backing you up, and you're just like, so what are some things that are getting said that you're just not happy with right now?
The only thing that really happens on Twitter that doesn't really sit well with me is that the two fan bases between Mariah and Nicki, they always bump heads in my Twitter. Yeah. I think it's because one fan base thinks that I'm neglecting them and paying more attention to the other, and I love all of them equally, and I'm just so happy that I even get to sing for Nicki and Mariah every week, and their fans are my fans, and I love them, and I love the judges. So I don't know, there's just always this misunderstanding as far as that's concerned. But other than that, I love being on Twitter. I think I'm on Twitter more than everyone here. I am.
Several contestants also came out and stated that Nicki was rude and bullied them throughout the season.
She all of a sudden, started throwing at me. I said, no, Ashley. She said, who are you? Like, who is Ashley? I said, Ashley's a all-around pop artist. And she said, See, I just feel like, you know, the way that you are jumping all over the place, it just seems like you're arrogant. I just bust out crying because I was like, this is like my idol right now, telling me that I'm arrogant, and I'm out here with a baby and just overcame homelessness, and you know what I mean? I was so alone, and it was just a lot going on in my life, and I just couldn't believe that you're gonna sit up there and tell these lies on me. Like, I wish y'all would air this episode, because I wish you would tell these lies on me. Either way, she was like, and so for that reason, we don't want you here. And so Mariah Carey was like, I want you here.
At this point, the show was predicted to be canceled, with the producers scrambling to find new judges. However, nearly 5 months after season 12 wrapped, it was announced that 13 would begin production. Judges Keith and Jennifer would make a return, being joined by newcomer Harry Connick Jr., bumping the panel back down to 3. In 2014, following her stint on the show, Mariah spoke out against American Idol, stating that she didn't like the experience and had no interest in returning. She also alluded to the competition being rigged.
So what happened with American Idol? That's over, right? No more going back?
That's over.
Did you like
That's
it?
over. No. Honestly, I hated it because it
Really?
Here's what it was. I was led to believe. I was the first person signed on. I was, you know, I don't want to say anything that's gonna, heaven forbid, people, you know, look like I'm saying something negative. But honestly, I thought it was gonna be a 3-person panel. They gave me a nice dangling monetary moment, and I was just like, okay, this is for me. You know, Randy Jackson will be there. I've known him forever. He used to play bass for me. Like, this isn't a big deal. This will be nothing. But it wasn't that. It was like hell, going to work every day in hell with Satan.
Really?
No, I'm just playing. It didn't affect me that much. I was just like, I was disappointed. You know what I loved? I loved the contestants. I loved and some of them that were so good, like, and also really good people, you could tell. And it was disappointing when they would, for political reasons, not put people through. Like, I'm like, I don't have to sit here and do this. Like, I would prefer to just put this person in the studio, record a record with them, or tell another producer, like, yo, you should produce this artist because they're beautiful, they could sing, they're talented, you know. But that's the way it is on that kind of TV thing.
It wasn't your favorite thing to do?
Well, I like being in the studio better and going on my own tours, etc. So we're going back to that.
In a Q&A, Mariah said she wanted the show to lose their comedic auditions and take a more serious approach, proposing that time be spent mentoring the contestants, similar to The Voice. After Mariah's appearance on Hot 97, an American Idol producer went on Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live and stated that she was the problem.
I will tell you this, that it was raw and real.
Right.
And the one you think was the problem, she wasn't the problem.
Right.
Over the next few years, it didn't look like Nicki and Mariah's relationship would ever improve, being made evident by Mariah in several interviews.
She wasn't that bad this morning.
Really?
Yeah, she was never late on American Idol. Right? You
Well,
was on
that
time
we
for
know
that.
of.
Well, honestly, I was very professional on that show. That's all I have to say.
Right, she wasn't late on that.
I was a complete professional.
Nicki was late, though.
Can you say 3 nice things about Nicki Minaj?
Can you?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
You want me to?
Well, it's your question. I mean, like.
Well, I know, but I'm asking it to you. Do you want to plead the 5th on that one?
You know, I always felt it was more important with that situation to not plead the 5th, but to just stay above the fray, because you don't want to be déclassé. You just want to just move it along.
Okay.
In the following years, both Keith and Randy would give their thoughts on the feud.
You were sitting in between Mariah Carey and Nicki Minaj when all the fighting was going on.
Yes.
Were you the middleman that had to stop the fights, or what was it like?
I suddenly realised all these years of playing the pubs up in Brizzy have paying off.
Yeah, I bet.
This is like a Friday night for me.
Someone throwing a schooner at me.
You can say whatever you want. I've got a glass to the face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
So what was that all over? Why were they fighting so much, those two?
I mean, it was a real setup.
Yes.
I think they were, you know, poor Mariah was sort of, I think, under the impression, and rightly so, that she was the only girl on the panel.
Right.
And then at the last second, they did a little switcheroo and threw Nicki into the mix.
As it turns out, we've got good TV.
So, yes, it was all designed to make great TV, but it just went a bit pear-shaped.
Was there really a feud between Nicki and Mariah?
Let's say that there weren't warm, fuzzy feelings.
And how difficult was it to be in the midst of that, to sit with that energy?
It was definitely difficult, you know, because Mariah's my friend and I was working with her at the time. It wasn't quite the prescription that we thought was going to be, you know, it wasn't quite the panel we thought it was going to be.
In 2016, American Idol would be canceled, only to be brought back 2 years later under a different network. Since then, we haven't heard Mariah and Nicki speak on each other, except for when Nicki thanked Mariah while receiving her Vanguard Award in 2023.
I want to take a second to just say thank you to all of the key people that inspired me and who I think inspired my flow. Lil Wayne, Foxy Brown, Lauryn Hill, Jay-Z, Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh. And then I wrote people who gave me huge opportunities that I'll never forget. Kanye West, Beyonce, Madonna, Mariah Carey, Eminem, Britney Spears, Rihanna.
Despite giving us a drama-fueled season, they also gave us one of the best vocalists to ever come out of American Idol. It's a shame her success seemed to be eclipsed by the judging panel. Candace Glover definitely deserves to be a household name. In regards to Nicki and Mariah, it's always sad to see two talented artists not get along, especially when it's their job to work together for the betterment of someone else's career. I hope any ill feelings that they might have had towards each other is long gone. As of today, both seem to be thriving in motherhood and their respective genres, with American Idol being just a small part of their massive legacy. Anyways, that's all I have for today. If you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate you. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.